The stars were certainly shining bright last week through Fall Stars Weekend. We hope you enjoyed it. Welcome back. We are right here in the midst of week 2 of racing at Keeneland, and this is Keeneland at Home, presented by our friends at UK HealthCare, ranked the #1 hospital in Kentucky for 5 years in a row. I'm Christina Blacker. I hope you enjoyed all the fantastic racing through the first weekend and these last couple days here in week 2. If you had a favorite, please let us know. Drop a little comment there. Send me a message on Twitter. I know that some of those races were near and dear to all your hearts out there, just as they are to my own. And we are just so excited to keep this racing going and to count down to the Fall Championships. We are only 28 days away from the Breeders' Cup, and you're going to see more horses in action this upcoming weekend that are trying to earn themselves a spot into the starting gate on November 6th and 7th. Let's take a look at what's coming up today as far as the racing goes. We have some exciting stakes action lined up. Today's feature is the Buffalo Trace Franklin County. It is a Grade 3 event. It goes off at 5:30 p.m. out on the East Coast. 10 races set for this afternoon. First post is at 1:05 p.m. And don't forget, you can always download that free digital program online on the Keeneland website. Last week, Maria Montgomery joined us on the show, and she took us to the Keeneland shop. Remember, you can always visit shopkeeneland.com to get your Keeneland at Home kit, any other home goods, or any other outfits that you might be looking to acquire to kind of keep that style going at home. This week, Maria is joining us to kind of let you know about an exciting opportunity if you're right there in the Lexington area. The Saturday watch party at Jeff Ruby's. It is certainly the place to be. Let's take a look at Maria's experience.
Hey guys, it's Maria Montgomery, and I am throwing a Keeneland watch party today right down the street at Jeff Ruby's, but I have one more thing to get before we get to the fun, so I'm going to stop by the Keeneland Mercantile and get by one last thing, so come on with me. I am a big dishes fan, pottery fan, and look how cute these are. These are all Louisville pottery, again distracting, but we got to focus on the watch party. We're almost there, let's see. Here we are, the best part. Girl's favorite part of the Keeneland Mercantile. So I need one that's gonna match my outfit today. So what do y'all think? This is fun. We have some feathers, some little twist action going on here. Let's see. Oh, yeah. I think this is perfect for a day like today whenever I'm going to be eating at Jeff Ruby's. And since it's Keeneland, I like that it's smaller, easy to move around, comfortable. I think this is it, guys. All right, let's go get it. This is the one.
All right.
Thank you.
Thank you.
All right, so even if Keeneland looks a little bit different this year, make sure you still go out, have fun, go watch the races, find somewhere safe that's also having a watch party, or get together with your friends. Stop by the Keeneland Mercantile. They have everything you need for your watch party. Now let's go watch the races.
We're basically going out in the community, and one of the places that we're going to is here in Jeff Ruby's, and we're talking horses and teaching people how to bet and teaching people how to use the Keeneland Select app on their phones to be able to make their bets from off track.
So how do you feel everyone's responding to bringing Keeneland to the restaurants instead of going to the track?
Well, you know, we're in Lexington, Kentucky. You know, we have very educated horse people here in the Bluegrass, and they take to it very well. A lot of people already know about the betting apps to where they can bet online, and so they're doing really well with it.
So I'm here at Jeff Ruby's, and I've got my Keeneland Mercantile Fascinator, and I'm having so much fun. We're watching the races here with all of my friends. So look at this table, guys. We are having a blast. All right, Maddie, what do you think? So much fun? Bailey? All right, Britt, what do you think? Are you having fun today?
We're having so much fun. We are here with all of our friends, and you know, eating at Jeff Ruby's, there's such a camaraderie, and we always come here when we're here for spring Keeneland. We're now here for fall Keeneland, and I think that we just going to keep the tradition alive and come here even when Keeneland's back. We'll just come here after.
I mean, good food,
Love it.
good drinks,
Best place in Lexington.
good people. It's the year to try it, so come on out to Different Meats, y'all. I promise you will not regret watching Keeneland here.
Maria, thank you so much. It looked like a great time out there at Jeff Ruby's. Even Greg was there answering your questions firsthand, so be sure to visit them each and every Saturday of the meet if you are in the Lexington area. Buffalo Trace is the sponsor of one of our features on the program today, and I was very intrigued to learn that they've been operating for over 200 years. They are actually the oldest and continuously run distillery in all of America. They have weathered challenges in the past, and this year is no different. Throughout the pandemic, they have remained unwavered and committed to their $1.2 billion expansion program. Buffalo Trace is growing, and here's how.
Buffalo Trace Distillery is the oldest continuously operating distillery in America, with 2 centuries of experience facing and overcoming adversity. The distillery has adapted to survive floods, fires, tornadoes, 2 world wars, prohibition, and a recession. During war times, Buffalo Trace was converted to produce potato alcohol for munitions and synthetic rubber. And during Prohibition, it was one of just a few distilleries granted a special permit to remain open and produce medicinal whiskey. With the current pandemic, the distillery continues to produce more bourbon than ever, rolling barrels into its warehouses every day. The virus will not slow them down. Buffalo Trace is charging ahead with Phase 2 of its $1.2 billion expansion. It has made significant progress on this investment to make more whiskey. In the past year, the distillery has installed 4 new cookers, 4 new fermenters, a new cooling tower for cooling spent grains was added. After raising the roof by 9 feet, 4 new 93,000-gallon fermenters were added. Buffalo Trace started cooking corn in its 4 new 22 feet tall cookers. The cookers give Buffalo Trace 80,000 gallons of cooking capacity, which is more than 2.5 times the volume of the old cookers. A new $50 million high-speed bottling hall was completed in 2019. 3 new barrel warehouses have been completed in the past year, joining 4 other filled warehouses. 15 new barrel warehouses will be built on Buffalo Trace's adjacent farm property. Also in the works are 8 more fermenters, a new dry house, and a second still house, with more upgrades to come. Guests are now able to see the expanded visitor center. With our relentless pursuit of excellence and unwavering commitment to overcome, Buffalo Trace Distillery continues to stand strong and persevere.
Unwavering in their commitment. Thanks to our friends at Buffalo Trace for their continued sponsorship. We look forward to their feature race on the program a little bit later on today, and also to sharing more of those specialty cocktail recipes with you all over the show here on Keeneland at Home. Okay, it's time to dive into the racing. Speaking of the feature and the entire 10 race card, which begins at 1:05 Eastern, and joining me to do so is my partner here on the show, Ellis Starr, the Ubercapper. Ellis, how are you on this Friday as we look forward to a beautiful day of weather and fantastic racing out there?
I am fantastic, Christina. It's a great fall day in Kentucky. A little bit of rain probably coming tomorrow and maybe on Sunday, but today it looks wonderful, and I always look forward to Buffalo Trace Day. It's a wonderful day, and the Buffalo Trace Franklin County Stakes is a great turf sprint as always.
I'm definitely going to get your opinion on that one, but I want to start a little bit earlier on the card, Ellis, because there's a nice race in the third on the program. This is a claimer, $50,000 claiming company, non-winners of 2 races lifetime. And down at the rail, It's a Wrap is interesting for Steve Asmussen, a horse that's coming off of a victory last out. And it looks like maybe they finally just figured this one out in that last race. What do you think?
Absolutely. You know, this is a non-winners of 2 claiming race, we call it. So all these horses have won 1 race, and a lot of them have a number of losses to go along with the 1 win. But It's a Wrap just figured it out, as you said, and that's a key. I prefer it in these kinds of races when you see horses that have won their last start, the light bulb went on, whatever the reason, the trainer figured it out. The 3 previous races were on grass, so it makes perfect sense that they're sticking with turf with this, fits perfectly at this condition, gets the rail. Ricardo Santana, who was up for the first time, rides back, and she's got the best equibase speech figure, which is a number representing time of 88 in the field. So I think this is a good way to play the race. And you can also, besides a win bet, play what we call an exacta key, which is taking It's a Wrap to come in first and 3 different horses to come in second. You can see I have a play there, the 1 over the 256. Let's make some money in the third for later on in the card.
Yeah, the exacta worked out pretty well last week for you there, Ellis. In case anybody missed it, can you share one of the highlights from our first week as far as the exactas go?
Well, in the Shadwell Turf Mile last Saturday, one of my top picks, Halliday, scratched. Another one didn't run well, Flavius, but the other 2 ran 1-2, including Ivar at a big price. And the $1 exacta paid $81. It was a $6 bet with Ivar, Raging Bull, and Flavius. And I hope people cash that bet.
$81 return, that will do. Certainly, that was a fantastic analysis there, Ellis, last week. And let's try to do it again. And I want to talk about a couple races later in the day today. The late pick 4 pool is always strong at Keeneland. The late pick 4 races 7 through 10. And right in the middle, 2 very intriguing races. So let's go to race 8. This is an optional claimer, non-winners of 3. You don't always get this condition to fill in every jurisdiction. The 6 horse, kind of right to the middle of this group, Ellis, Lasting Legacy, crossed the wire first last time, but was disqualified. What do you make of that race, and what do you expect from this horse back today?
Well, he'd been off for a couple of months and just got a little tired, kind of drifted out to another horse, and rightfully so. They placed the horse second and the winner first. That was a great race, and it was exactly this level, this 80,000 optional claiming non-winners of 3. It was very game. Lasting Legacy fought the whole way during that. And he has 3 wins and 3 seconds in his last 7 races. If you look at all those sprints, there's a bunch of good races in there. Most importantly, if folks looking at those free Keeneland programs, you look back to his race last December, Lasting Legacy finished second to Diamond Oops. And Diamond Oops has turned into a star. He just won the Phoenix Stakes opening weekend. So Lasting Legacy gets top billing here.
A little further to the inside is the 4 horse, Ellis. Looking at bikinis, Javier Castellano is going to be aboard for Chad Brown on this colt. He's a son of Looking at Lucky, and we haven't seen him at all this year, though. The last time he was on track, December 7th of 2019, in the Grade 1 Cigar Mile, he was 4th that day behind Maximum Security. But I think he's one that always hinted at having a lot of ability, both early in his career and before he went to the sidelines. What do you think as far as his kind of class and quality and what we're going to see from him today?
Well, when you're looking at a horse coming back from a long layoff like this, you want to see if they've done it before. He won in his career debut by 5 lengths, so that's a good sign. He was highly regarded, as you mentioned. They put him in the Travers Stakes in the summer of 2019. He's really a one-turn horse. He proved that. He's 3 for 4 at a mile or less. This is his condition, and he does fire fresh. And Chad Brown almost always gets his layoff horses to run very well. Also, he's won at Keeneland, which is significant too, at this 7 furlong trip a year and 5 days ago, actually.
Ellis, there's some big prices to the outside of this group. And if people are playing those pick 4s and maybe want to put a bomb on there, or if they're looking for a big exacta payout like you had in the Shadwell, is there a price in this race that you could see jumping up and getting a piece of it, or maybe upsetting for the win?
Absolutely, Christina. I think the 11 Visitant is a horse that a lot of people won't see coming. His last race was this September of 2019, so 13 months ago. It was the Del Mar Derby. It was a mile and 1/8 on the grass. He was only 13 to 1. But before that, his races were just spot on. Win, second, win, third. He's a horse that's 3 for 5 on turf for all weather. He ran okay on the dirt. He won at dirt actually, he ran 3rd on the dirt. He won at a mile on the all-weather. I think he's got a lot of class and ability. The outside post is good. He doesn't need the lead. He opens at 20 to 1. I think this horse could get in there, hopefully for a nice exacta like we had last Saturday.
So there's your price in there to the outside, the 11 Visitant, a horse to use on your exactas. If you're playing any of those multi-race exotic wagers, we hope you're including him. Okay, time to get to our feature on the card today, Ellis. It goes as race 9. The 9th of 10 races today. And this is the Grade 3 Buffalo Trace, Franklin County. $150,000 on the line here. We're going 5.5 furlongs for the turf sprinters. These races can be a real scramble. As far as the picks, Ellis, where do we start in here?
Well, I'm going to start with the 7 winning envelope. I love these 5.5 furlong sprints, and I love the Buffalo Trace Franklin County Stakes, as I said before. A lot of these times races are won on the lead, but horses can come from dead last on the Keeneland turf as long as they get in the middle of the track and come running. And I think that's what winning envelope's going to do. She ran second in the Kentucky Ladies Sprint to Got Stormy, the favorite in this race, rallying from 12th to 2nd. And then 2 before that, the last time she ran in the turf sprint, she rallied from 8th to 2nd. Julian Leparoux fits her perfectly, and she should come running. She can make up 12 or 15 lengths here. She's going to be very exciting to watch in the Buffalo Trace, Franklin County.
Yeah, that Kentucky Downs form really held up the first week of racing at Keeneland. I think we're going to see that continue through the next couple weeks here of the fall meet. Ellis, the 9 Stillwater Cove to farther to the outside. Another horse off a little bit of a layoff, but this is another one that kind of fits a few of the angles that I know you've pointed us to in the past with the trainer, with the rider. What do you like about this horse?
Well, first of all, speaking of trainer and rider, Wesley Ward and Gerardo Corrales are a team. People don't see it as much unless you watch Kentucky racing. They won 4 of 10 races at Kentucky Downs. We know how tough that is with all those big purse races and big fields. As you said, Stillwater Cove hasn't been seen since a year ago, but she won. She won at Keeneland at this distance, an allowance race. She won by 3, and she did it powerfully. She also was second last spring in 19 in the Limestone Turf Sprint. So she likes the course, and she should fire very nicely here.
Ellis, you mentioned the racing at Kentucky Downs, and back on September the 12th, the ladies sprint over that soft turf course. Winning Envelope, the first horse you told us about, comes out of that race. But are there any others that come out of that race that you might want to use back again today?
Well, absolutely. So the 8 Change of Control ran 7th in that race, but won back-to-back in May and June at these types of races, and she can get back to that kind of form. And then, of course, the winner of the race, Got Stormy, who will be the favorite here. And I am going to use Got Stormy in our exacta, which we'll see in a second here. You can't leave her out. She's 6-5. It's interesting, though, even though she's won $1.9 million, she's never raced shorter than 6.5 furlongs on the grass. So it is the first time she's doing it. And there's an old cliche in racing, never bet a horse at low odds to win who's trying something for the first time.
So we've heard about the top 4 that you think have a shot in here. Ellis, how do you play this race in general?
This is going to be really simple. I'm going to take a win bet on Winning Envelope and maybe a second win bet if I get maybe 4 or 5 to 1 on Change of Control or Stillwater Cove. And the force exacta box here, 7, 8, 9, 10 looks very strong. It's a $12 wager at the dollar minimum. You can bet it for more if you want. And you win if any 2 of the 4 come in first and second.
All right, Ellis, as per usual, thank you for your help this afternoon. Good luck, all 10 races out there at Keeneland, and I will see you again tomorrow.
Good luck to everybody today.
We are committed to helping you handicap the races on any level here at Keeneland at home. And this week, our betologists are coming to you in a virtual way once more. Rachel joins us this afternoon to teach you about exotic wagers. Take a look.
Exactas, trifectas, and superfectas. Fun to say, even more fun to place. These bets are called exotic wagers, but don't worry, they're not as complicated as they sound. Last time, we covered the basics of win, place, and show. If you haven't yet seen that video and want to know more, check out the Lessons in BETology playlist on Keeneland's YouTube channel. Let's start with how the bet is structured. An exacta bet is when you pick the horses you think will finish first and second in a race. Let's say we like horses 9 and 2. These horses have to finish in this order to win and cash a ticket. Similarly, a trifecta bet is when you pick the first, second, and third finishers in order. So let's say you also like horse number 4. And finally, a superfecta is when you pick the first 4 finishers in order. So now let's add the 1 horse to the wager. Now normally, to win these bets, you have to choose the correct order of finish. But here's a trick. You can add what's called a box to your bet, which means that your horses can finish in any order. Essentially, you are placing a bet for every combination of finish order. So let's say you place a trifecta box on horses 9, 2, and 4. In this scenario, your horses could finish in any order. As long as those 3 horses are somewhere in the top 3 positions, you win. But how much does this cost? It all depends on the number of possible combinations or outcomes of your bet. Just remember, for 2 horses, there are only 2 combinations. For 3 horses, there are 6 possible combinations. And for 4 horses, there are 24 combinations. Simply multiply your bet amount by the number of combinations in the bet. So, where a standard 50-cent trifecta would cost you 50 cents, a 50-cent trifecta box would cost you $3 since there are more chances to win. Like any bet, payouts depend on a combination of each horse's odds and the amount other people are betting on those horses. So if you place an exacta box on 2 favorites, you're going to make less than if you placed a bet on 2 long shots. It's for that reason that many bettors will pair a horse they are sure about with a horse or two that has low odds but could surprise people. In horse racing, anyone can win, and that's exactly why there are no bad bets. Give it a try on Keeneland Select. It's free to sign up, and you can bet on Keeneland Racing or any other track from anywhere.
Thursday was the 13th anniversary of the Make-A-Wish Foundation Day at Keeneland. This is a day that is special each and every year and will just touch your heart as you hear the stories. And although it had to be different this year, we were still committed at Keeneland to making it very special. And some of the local farms pitched in and helped us out with that as well. And we thank them for all of their support. John Greeley passed away earlier this year, and he was really a driving force behind this program. He was born and raised and lived every day of his life in the bluegrass in Kentucky. He gave his time to so many charitable organizations, and he was a real silent contributor to so many events like this. The Make-A-Wish Foundation Day was so special to him. He always focused on helping children and helping the elderly. Let's take a look at the legacy of the late John Greeley.
John was just always the most outgoing, friendly guy, and everyone loved him. He lit up a room when he walked in.
That's a good name. I know.
We always knew about the Make-A-Wish Day at Keeneland. It was his most important day of the year. He loved it.
Come on out.
We grew up coming here from the time we were tiny, and it's another home for us. It's a special place. So he wanted to make that connection, and it's such a great Kentucky connection for these kids who are from here. I think that this is such a wonderful organization, and I've learned a lot about it through John, and it just would be so great for people to get more involved. Giving money is very important, but just being there for them, I think is what he loved so much about it.
You better hold on.
I'd love for him to be remembered as starting this day at Keeneland and just brightening the days of the kids and families of Make-A-Wish. He's always been just kind of a big kid himself, and just always wanted to help and never wanted recognition, but always very generous. That was just John.
If you would like to learn more or to donate to the Make-A-Wish cause, we encourage you to visit oki.wish.org. That's oki.wish.org.
Meanwhile, John Velasquez getting after Rachel's Valentina, begging her to wake up and respond. Nickname is in third, and Songbird is just rolling past the 8th pole. Has the lead by 6. Rachel's Valentina is in second, but there is absolutely no stopping Songbird. It is all Songbird. Mike Smith aboard, crushing the field. Rachel's Valentina was home second. Dothraki Queen made a late run to third, and then Nickname was fourth, 1 minute, 42 and 3/5 seconds.
What a treat it was to see Songbird back in 2015. She was perfect to that point. She would go on after that Breeders' Cup Juvenile Fillies victory to win 7 more races in a row. And then in 2016, in what is one of the best battles in all of Breeders' Cup history, she was second by a nose to the mighty Beholder, a champion herself. Songbird was definitely a future star, and we were so fortunate to see her in the 2015 Breeders' Cup at Keeneland. So for this year, as I mentioned, we're 28 days away from the Breeders' Cup. Future Stars Friday is on November the 6th, and then we'll go right into the Super Saturday of Racing on November the 7th. Breeders' Cup is so disappointed that they can't have the fans there this year, but they've done quite a bit to bring you right into the action. I want to tell you about that right now. So while fans will not be in attendance, the Breeders' Cup is going to make sure you can tune in some new ways through some exciting initiatives that are available at breederscup.com They're going to be available on the social media channels and also via their broadcasts. So here is a listing. The contender cams. This is a chance to follow your horse from the moment they hit the paddock right up until they break from the starting gate. The back cam, an overhead view of the backstretch that will actually bring viewers right into the running of the race. The jockey cam. Now, you may have had a little bit of a preview of this from the Preakness with Swiss Skydiver this past week. 2 jockeys in each race will wear helmet cameras to give you a bird's eye view of what's going on from their perspective during the race. And then also a 360-degree camera view of the paddock and the winner's circle. All of those and much, much more available to you coming up in the next couple of weeks as we ramp up to the Breeders' Cup. And here's a look at where you can watch. Thursday, November the 5th, betting the Breeders' Cup. So this is going to handicap for you, kind of help you choose your horses. This is available from 2 to 3 o'clock Eastern and 6 to 7 o'clock Eastern on NBCSN. Also on Friday, on Future Stars Friday for that coverage, you'll want to tune in to 2 through 6 p.m. Eastern on NBCSN. And then Saturday, November 7th for Championship Saturday coverage, 12 to 2:30 p.m. Eastern, also on NBCSN, and then from 2:30 to 5:30 Eastern on NBC. We want to thank you again for tuning in this week to Keeneland at Home. Don't forget to use the hashtag. We always want to know if you are participating in the show. Hashtag Keeneland at Home. Let us know how you're watching. Let us know if you're making a beverage at home or maybe taking advantage of some of those recipes that are online. The Keeneland bread pudding recipe is available if you are good in the kitchen. I'm looking forward to making that myself at some point. So thanks today to Buffalo Trace and again to our friends at UK HealthCare for sponsoring the show. They are ranked Kentucky's #1 hospital 5 years in a row, and you can learn more at ukhealthcare.com. Also, don't forget that you can watch today's full card from home, either on your TV, your phone, or your computer. Here's a look at those listings. On television, you can watch on TVG or YouTube. If you have your phone, just fire up that Keeneland Race Day app, Keeneland Select YouTube as well. And then on the computer, Keeneland.com, Keeneland Select, and also YouTube. To conclude the show today, we are going to go back to our friends at the Railbird. They have been sharing these sets with us each and every week. So I'm very thankful to them for continuing to support the show. I'm Christina Blacker. I'm going to see you right back here again tomorrow and on Sunday for another edition of Keeneland at Home. But until then, here are the Minks at Lexington's The Burl.